just to reiterate, we are in the early stages of this investigation, so the information I'm going to give you today remains preliminary, meaning some details, timelines, etc., may change as we develop more granular information. This investigation is being carried out jointly by the NYPD FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force and the Intelligence Bureau of the NYPD with the Counter-Terrorism Bureau, and hundreds of detectives from the NYPD Detective Bureau who responded to the scene and worked through the night developing evidence and following leads. The timeline as we have it now starts at 2:06 p.m., at which point the suspect rents a large vehicle from the Home Depot located in Passaic, New Jersey. According to license plate readers on the George Washington Bridge, he exits the bridge into New York City, southbound on the West Side Highway at 2:43 p.m. At 3:04, a Port Authority camera on top of an air vent outside the Holland Tunnel shows the vehicle entering the bike lane and traveling at a high rate of speed southbound at West Street and Houston Street. At this point, according to witnesses, video, and investigation, he appears to target bicycle riders and pedestrians within the southbound bike lane traveling at a high rate of speed. That ends when he collides with the school bus, injuring a number of additional people. And at 3:08 p.m., we get more than a dozen 911 calls reporting people down, the school bus accident, and a man with a gun in the street. 2 First Precinct police officers who were out on another call are alerted by civilians about the activity going on outside. They leave that location. They're joined by a 3rd officer. They observe a man who appears to be waving a gun and yelling at the scene of the accident, and they observe people down on the scene. One of those officers, Brian Nash, takes action and fires his service weapon, bringing the attack to an end. As the injured were being removed by fire department and EMS personnel and being triaged at the scene, a perimeter was set up around that truck, and the NYPD bomb squad was called in to clear that vehicle for any suspicious devices. The suspect is identified as Sayfullo Saipov, a 29-year-old legal permanent resident of the United States who came into the country from Uzbekistan in March of 2010. Overnight, based on the investigation, there have been a number of search warrants executed, and there may be more. Witnesses interviewed, associates tracked down, and other activity. We've been able to piece together a number of facts. Recovered in and around the vehicle were multiple knives, the 2 imitation pistols, one a paintball gun, the other a Crossman pellet gun. As you know, there are 8 dead and 12 injured. We have a lot to go through. The Detective Bureau in particular, using hundreds of detectives, has been going up and down the West Side Highway on both sides of the street, meticulously trying to pick up every piece of video from every security camera, every traffic camera, every bank camera, anything that will help us put together this timeline and have the imagery to go with it so we can reconstruct as much of this as possible. We'll also be reviewing license plate reader data, not just our own, but from the surrounding area, to help reconstruct the suspect's movement over the preceding days, as well as interviews with associates. The suspect was transported to Bellevue Hospital. We are awaiting to hear an update on his condition today. Obviously, he is in custody and under arrest. Based on the investigation overnight, it appears that Mr. Saipov had been planning this for a number of weeks. He did this in the name of ISIS, and along with the other items recovered at the scene was some notes that further indicate that. He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before, with instructions to their followers on how to carry out such an attack.